also help me focus. So I hope that this video can help you relax as well. I wanted to do something game related, and I finally decided to read 4 different books that comes from the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. I'm going to put a link in the description to the page where I have found the texts. I'm going to read the books that are called Lost Legends of Skyrim, Ghosts in the Storm, A Dream of Sovngarde, and The Atlas of Dragons, in that order, and I'm going to apologize in advance for any weird pronunciations and stuff like that, because I know that I will not be reading perfectly, I can't even say that word right, because English is not my first language. But anyway, let's get started. Lost Legends of Skyrim by Telscar the Elder, Archivist of Winterhold. The history of Skyrim is vast, predating even the most ancient records of man and mer. Much has been lost, fallen to the ravages of war or the turning of the ages, but nothing is ever truly forgotten. Where no records exist, legends and folk tales offer us a key to the past, a way to piece together truths half remembered in the minds of men. For generations, the people of Morthal have told whispered tales of the Pale Lady, a ghostly woman who wanders the northern marshes, forever seeking her lost daughter. Some say she steals children who wander astray, others that her sobbing wail strikes dead all those who hear it. But behind these tales may lie a kernel of truth, for ancient records speak of Omriel, a mysterious figure whose Gramor's heirs battled for decades and finally sailed away. Reachmen tell the story of Fowlan Red Eagle, an ancient king who rallied his people and drew back the armies of Cyrodiil with a flaming sword. Though accounts vary, they do seem to be based on an underlying truth. The imperial chronicles of Empress Estra mentioned a rebel leader of that era who was eventually cornered and slain in battle, at the cost of a full legion of men. But some tales prove far harder to analyze. Among scholars, perhaps the best known is the forbidden legend of the Archmage Galdur. In the dawning days of the First Era, the story goes, there lived a powerful wizard by the name of Galdur. Wise and just, he was well known in the courts of King Harald and the Jarls of Skyrim, and his aid and counsel was sought by men and mer alike. And then he was murdered. Some say one of his sons killed him, others that King Harald, jealous of his power, gave the order. But Galdur's 3 sons fled into the night, pursued by a company of Harald's best warriors and the Lord Germund, the king's personal battle mage. A great chase ensued from the wilds of the Reach to the glacial north. One brother is said to have perished in the ruins of Volgunthur at the foot of Solitude. The others were run to ground soon thereafter, and once it was done, King Harald ordered every struck from the rolls of history. Even today, few sources remain, and no bard will tell the tale, but perhaps the truth yet remains in some ancient ruin, waiting to be unearthed, for nothing is ever truly forgotten. Okay, that was The Lost Legends of Skyrim, Ghosts in the Storm, by Untitled Chapter. For many years now, I have travelled the length and breadth of Skyrim, writing my experiences and my adventures. I have seen many wondrous sights and many strange creatures in my travels, but one encounter remains fixed in my memory, though I wish it were not. I had taken up travelling with one of the Khajiit trade caravans that crisscross Skyrim, peddling their wares outside the gates of the large cities. We were nearing Windhelm when the storm struck. It was a violent and terrible gale, one of the very worst I've seen in all my long years. The winds howled like all the daedra of oblivion, and the driving snow made us blind to the world. Risad called halt, and we staggered from the road, our hands held over our faces to ward off the stinging pellets of ice. We huddled together in the shelter of a copse of pines. There was no hope of raising our tents. The wind would tear them from our hands the moment we unpacked them. They struck at the height of the storm. They were perhaps half a dozen of the creatures. It was difficult to say, as the blowing snow and howling wind overwhelmed our sight and our hearing. They were roughly man-sized, but hunched over and ugly. For garments, they wore only rags and leathers. They were armed with daggers and swords of various kinds, no doubt scavenged from their previous victims. They had no noses to speak of, only long slits for nostrils. Their ears were sharply pointed, suggesting a distant kinship with the elves. With their pallid skin and lifeless black eyes, they seemed like something out of a nightmare. Bisha saw them first, but too late to save herself. So loud was her death cry, we heard it over the roaring winds. That cry saved us all. Alerted to the presence of our foes, the Khajiit drew their blades and formed a circle facing outward. The white vines were too few to surround us completely, and the Khajiit fended off each attack. After 3 of the snow devils had fallen, the rest fell back and did not come at us again. The storm abated, and we arrived in Windhelm the next morning. I have taken up residence in Candlehearth Hall, and I find I'm quite comfortable behind the towering stone walls of the city. Comfortable, at least until I go to sleep, and visions of those awful creatures return to haunt my dreams. Okay. A Dream of Sovngarde by Skarden Freewinter. In a few hours, I will likely be dead. My men and I, Nords of Skyrim all, will soon join with the Emperor's legions to attack the Imperial City. The Aldmeri are entrenched within, and our losses will be severe. It is a desperate gambit, for if we do not reclaim the city, we will lose the war. Last night, I prayed to mighty Talos for courage and strength in the battle to come. In these last cold hours before the sun rises, I sit down to write this account of a dream I had not long after. I believe this dream was the answer to my prayers, and I would pass along the wisdom it contained to my kinsmen, for of the battles they will fight in the years after my passing. In the dream, I walked through mists towards the sound of laughter, merriment, and the songs of the north. The mists soon cleared, and before me lay a great chasm. Waters thundered down over its brim, and so deep it was I could not see the bottom. A great bridge made all of whalebone was the only means to cross, and so I took it. It was only a few steps onto the bridge that I encountered a warrior, grim and strong. "I am Tsun, master of trials," he said to me, his voice booming and echoing upon the walls of the high mountains all around us. With a wave, he bade me pass on. I knew in my heart that I was granted passage only because I was a visitor. Should the hour come when I return here after my mortal life, the legends say that I must best this dread warrior in single combat. Beyond the bridge, a great stone longhouse rose up before me, so tall as to nearly touch the clouds. Though it took all my strength, I pushed open the towering oaken door and beheld the torch-lit feast hall. Here were assembled the greatest heroes of the Nords, all drinking mead poured from great kegs and singing battle songs. Suckling pigs turned on a long iron spit over a roaring fire. My mouth watered at the smell of roast meat, and my heart was glad to hear the songs of old. "Come forth," cried out a hoary man who sat upon a high wooden chair. This I knew to be Ysgramor, father of Skyrim and the Nords. I approached and knelt before him. "You find yourself in Sovngarde, Hall of the Honored Dead. Now, what would you have of me, son of the North?" he bellowed. "I seek counsel," said I, "for tomorrow we fight a desperate battle, and my heart is full of fear." Ysgramor raised his tankard to his lips and drank until the cup was empty. Then he spoke once more. "Remember this always, son of the North. A Nord is judged not by the manner in which he lived, but the manner in which he died." With that, he cast aside his flagon, raised his fist in the air, and roared a great cheer. The other heroes rose to their feet and cheered in answer. The sound still rang in my ears when I awoke. I gathered my men and told them of my vision. The words seemed to fill their hearts with courage. "The horns are blowing and the banners are raised. The time has come to muster. May Talos grant us victory this day, and if I am found worthy, may I once again look upon the great feast hall." And the last book is The Atlas of Dragons by Brother Matman, and I will read it out in almost inaudible whisper.